Hello and welcome to SallyHughesBeauty.com. Today I'm going to show you through my kit. Lots of people ask me how I store my own makeup and what I use on a day-to-day basis. I'm not going to show you my own makeup bag. I am going to show you the kit that I keep together for doing makeup on, yes, occasionally myself if it's a really special occasion, but also brides, friends, when I meet people for consultations and so on, makeup lessons. This is the kit I carry with me at all times. It is massive. I will warn you in advance. I'll try and be as quick as possible, but it is big. I've had a professional kit since I started out as an assistant makeup artist when I was 15. And amassing a kit is a really expensive business and a really time-consuming business. And it's something I've never taken for granted now that I don't kind of have to pay for things anymore. I still really appreciate the effort that goes into assembling a kit, so I'm really careful about mine. I keep it really clean. I keep it well sorted because I don't ever want to take for granted, because I remember how much it meant to have to spend 40 quid on brushes in Screen Face in London when I was 15. It was such a killer. So I am very grateful for the kit I have, but I'm going to show you what I do have. Okay, so first of all I should say where I keep it. I keep it in a Zuka. A Zuka is a type of suitcase for professional makeup artists, hairdressers, crafters, sports people and so on, and you'll see why in a minute, but this is what it is. So it has a handle at the back, so it wheels along as a wheelie suitcase, and then it has this, which is a seat which can take the weight of a person up to 300 pounds, which is brilliantly useful if you're on a crowded train, you can't get a seat. It's a proper, like, sturdy, solid seat, but most of all it's a case. So on one side of my Zuka I have a set kit. Now in this set kit are just boring little things that you always need. So clean powder puffs, nail varnish remover, cotton buds, micellar lotion, that's a Bioderma, a water spray, lip balm, lots of spare mascara spoolies for hygiene, an adjustable pencil sharpener, that one's from Sephora, it's amazing, if you're ever in America get it, anti-bac gel, sponge, that sort of thing. And that is just, if I'm shooting for The Guardian, I take my Zuka with me, and that has just got all the kind of little kind of boring bits that I need throughout the day. I also take my brushes, which at the moment are on here, but normally they would be in the Zuka. I don't like a brush roll. I've got too many brushes for a brush roll. I use brush canisters. This one is by Makeup Forever. I've got a few of them. And then I have a MAC one as well that I keep crayons in. Lots of Smashbox and Charlotte Tilbury crayons in there. So on this side I have baby wipes. This is the only time you'll see me use wipes. If I'm working, they're really useful for wiping your hands. I use my hands as a palette quite a lot. Wiping foundation off fingernails for Guardian pictures and so on. The other thing I have in this side, what's in here? Altoids. If you're doing someone's makeup, you should always have a mint first, because you're right in the face and breathing on them, so I always take Altoids. The other thing I have in this side of my Zuka is my Bobbi Brown Artist's Lip Palette. Amazing! So it basically has practically every colour of Bobbi Brown lipstick in it, and it has a sort of palette in the middle, so you can mix colours, and the names of all of them. So that is, I only got that very recently. Life-changing. It means I no longer have to carry millions and millions of lipsticks around, and I do think Bobbi lipsticks are amazing. I wear them a lot in real life. Nude, Old Hollywood, lots of her shades are my favourites, so that goes in there. Right, I'm going to now take things out of the Zuka. So flap there, flap here, it zips up. So what do we have inside? So I don't keep tons in this side because it means the door doesn't close properly. But what I do have, I have Perfect Body Perfection Gel, which is basically a primer that comes in skin tones, and you put it on your body, and I use it a lot for Guardian pictures because I'm so pasty and white and veiny and what have you, and it just unifies everything. It's just a silicone basically. I always carry that. I also use MAC Face and Body Foundation a lot in Guardian pictures on my arms and whatnot. Bobbles Bobbi Brown eye cream, which is the best way in my experience. If you put on foundation, it doesn't go on very well and you get a bit of texture in the foundation. Just take a foundation brush, dip it in some eye cream, the Bobbi Brown one's perfect for it, and then just stroke the foundation brush over the top of your foundation and it will just smooth everything over again. Eye makeup remover, hand cream, more Altoids, some Astalift jelly, some anti-back hand gel, that sort of shizzle. Okay, at the top here I have single eyeshadows. I don't use tons of single eyeshadows for work, but there are a few that I really like that I'm reluctant to get rid of. So just kind of neutrals by MAC. I think there's some Nars ones in there, some Bobbi Brown sticks and so on. Here is my pencil case. So in here I keep eye pencils, lots of Charlotte Tilbury, lots of Smashbox. I don't know if you've seen the Smashbox pencils that sharpen themselves, but as you take off the cap it sharpens the nib, so they're always sharp, which I think is slightly genius. Lots of Clinique pencils, Bobbi Coles, Elizabeth Arden smoky eye pencils, which are my absolute favourites. So brilliant. Oh, lots of Urban Decay 24/7 Glide-Ons. They're brilliant pencils. I think Urban Decay makes some of the best pencils you can get. Also, in here somewhere, I might not be able to find it because there's so much in here, but is a Christian Dior black liquid eyeliner with a brush, and it is completely dried out and it's completely buggered, and I have had it for 22 years. And the reason it's always in my kit, that I never throw it out, it is in there somewhere. The reason I never throw it out is my first ever professional makeup job when I was 16 on my own without my boss's help. I had to go and do a test for a big model agency in London, and I realised I didn't have a black liquid eyeliner, and I spent the last of the money I had in the world on a Christian Dior black liquid eyeliner, and I never throw it out because it was such a big deal to me to buy it. So even though it is absolutely disgusting and manky and can't go near anyone's skin, I'll never throw it out. Okay, what do we have here? So Zucas come with these big pouches that stack up. That's why they're so brilliant. So in here we have foundation. So this is my foundation pouch, and these are the foundations I use on other people for work. My own foundation, which is Suku Cream Foundation in 15 and by Terry Don Solis in Natural Beige, they tend to live out here. They tend not to go in. So the first one I have is Nars Laguna Body Illuminator. I use that for work, mainly for summer columns, because I don't fake tan, I just do wash off. Tom Ford Stick, which is amazing. I have loads and loads of Armani Maestros, just because I find they sort of suit everybody, and everybody likes the feel of them on their skin. So I have tons of colours of Armani Maestro. Armani foundation is such good quality. I have a couple of Astalift light analysing foundations in here. They're excellent. Suku, obviously, my favourite ever foundation. Always will be, I think. I have a few of those in there. I have some water-based Chanel compacts, because sometimes people like a compact. Then I have several colours of Yves Saint Laurent Touche Éclat foundation, because that's my, I suppose that's my preferred basic foundation, and then it just kind of looks good on everybody, gives everyone a nice glow. The colours are really good, so I have a lot of those. I'll normally, if it's somebody else I'm making up, I'll normally do Armani Maestro or YSL Touche Éclat. I also have two foundation kits. I have one for Afro-Caribbean skin and one for Caucasian skin, and I swap them out depending who I'm making up, but the brands are the same. It'll be MAC, Bobbi, YSL, those sorts of brands. This is my other base pouch. So in here we have Keramas concealers, a full palette of those for covering up tattoos, vitiligo, scarring and so on. I have a few tinted moisturisers. There's Laura Mercier, and then we have illuminating powders like Hourglass Ambient, primers like Illamasqua Hydra Veil, and Radiance Primer by Laura, which I use every day. I carry the full set. I've got darker colours in there somewhere. I carry the full set of Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. As you can see, there's lots down there in dark colours. I use those on everybody. It's just the best concealer. I've given up on others really for most things. Then under here I have the Bobbi Bbu Palette, which again is absolutely brilliant. It is every Bobbi foundation, concealer, corrector that she does. So you always have the right foundation for somebody. I find increasingly actually that the BBU palette is the palette I most often use for either very pale or very dark skin, because I personally don't think anyone does foundation for all ethnicities as well across the colour range as Bobbi Brown. So I find that palette invaluable. If somebody is super, super white or super, super dark, I find that she usually hits the spot. So what's next? Lips. Okay, I don't know if this lip pouch is going to remain like this because now I've got the Bobbi lip palette. I don't need it quite so much. But in here I have MAC palettes. I have a few of those in different colour schemes. The individual lipsticks I have in here are chosen not particularly because they're my best colours in the world. They're chosen so that I have I have every type of red. So if I meet somebody for say a makeup lesson and they want to know what their perfect red is, I like to have a blue red, an orange red, a Hollywood red, a pillar box red. I like to have a broad spectrum of them so that we can work from there. So in here you'll find things like MAC Ruby Woo, Bobbi Brown Old Hollywood, Estee Lauder Red Tango, for example. I don't have heaps of glosses, maybe a handful. They're mainly Nars and Laura and Chanel. I've got loads of Nars lip crayons because they're brilliant. Lots of MAC lipsticks, some Tom Ford, some Lipstick Queen, lots of Bobbi again. Quite a few Bobbi bits in there. But I'm obviously going to be able to get rid of a lot of those soon and not carry them around because I have an amazing new palette. What's in here? Yeah, so just brow products in here, nothing that exciting. I use Christian brow powder a lot. Got some Nars brow pencils which are very good, really natural looking. Brow gel, a Lancome Pro brow palette in there that I use quite a lot. It's great because it has every colour that you'll ever need and you can mix them and so on. Some Anastasia. I've said this before, but you always want brow products to be quite flat and cold and a bit greeny, almost greeny grey, rather than warm and brown, because then they look really wiggy. So kind of mainly brow things in there. Lip pencils. These little bags are by Laura Mercier, by the way. Lip pencils and sharpeners. They are mainly Urban Decay, Charlotte Tilbury and Bobbi Brown. I think that those three brands of pencil are the best. The Charlotte Tilbury ones I should mention because they're obviously newer. They're so good. They're really, really soft, really great colours, and they're particularly good. I think they're called Lip Cheat. They're really good for enlarging your lips and so on. They're really, really natural looking. They're great. I strongly, strongly recommend those. And then Bobbi Brownie Pink Lip Liner is what I'm wearing today, is what I'm wearing most days. Fantastic. Blusher, my favourite thing. So this is the blusher pouch. Now again, I plan to condense this down quite soon because I have two amazing new palettes that are just life-changing. So the first one is Stila Colour Me Pretty, basically convertible colour, which I have here in all its individual guises. So these are convertible colours here. I've always had them in my kit. They're brilliant cream blushes. I have several colours of them. The most popular colours have been condensed down into one palette. So pleasing. So basically I'm going to lose all of these and free up some space and weight by just using this palette. I only got that very recently. Brilliant idea. And likewise, most of my powder blushes are Nars because he makes the best powder blusher in my opinion. I've got loads of them in here. I've got 5 or 6 little individual ones like that. As part of the Guy Bourdin collection, Nars has done this palette, which is called One Night Stand. Gorgeous packaging. It's called One Night Stand, and the most popular Nars blushes have been put inside, which means I can get rid of loads of those compacts and just put them into my own personal kit. So there's going to be quite a lot I can crunch down out of here, but I've been too busy with my book to really pay it much attention. Some other blushes I have in here, Bobbi Brown Pinky Coral, which is a lovely, lovely colour. I wear it loads in the summer. Quite a few from MAC, Lady Blush, a couple of Chanel ones. A couple of Tom Ford ones. I wear Tom Ford Flush quite a lot. I'm wearing that today. But this is Love Lust, I think. I use that quite a lot. It's quite similar to Nars Orgasm, but a bit darker, a bit more pigmented. Burberry Summer Glow is another great one. Erin Cream Blusher, another good cream. Lipstick Queen, a couple of bronzers in here. Bobbi Brown Rouge Pots. See, you can see how old these are. They're in the old packaging. They don't come in that anymore. They come in one of these. Bobbi Brown Brightening Powder, which is a product I use a lot. It's basically like a pale girl's bronzer. And my Erin bronzer is not in here because it's always in my own makeup bag because I can't live without it. It's brilliant. So here are my eye colours. God, where to start? Right, pretty much all of my eye colours come from a handful of brands. They are either Tom Ford, Chanel, Dior, YSL, Smashbox or Charlotte Tilbury or Bobbi Brown. Those brands I just think make brilliant eyeshadows. Actually that's by Suku, but I don't use much Suku eyeshadow, much as they're fab. Tom Ford eyeshadow quads are so amazing. They're so densely pigmented. The colours are chosen really, really well, but I just find that with several of those I can pretty much do anything. Cognac Sable I use, Cocoa Mirage, Cobalt Rush. I've got loads of them. They're all completely brilliant. I don't know what this one is. Yeah, Cobalt Rush. It's a lovely sort of teal one. They're so dense. And because the colours are chosen so well, I just find that with a handful of those you can do any makeup look. Obviously when it comes to neutrals, Bobbi Brown is sort of the master really. So if I'm doing a very natural, neutral, subtle sort of look, I'll almost always use colours from one of these two Bobbi palettes. They're very old and well loved, as you can see. I use those an awful lot. And then Chanel, so many Chanel quads. I think they're brilliant. There's lots of discussion about should you buy your Chanel quads in America where they're pressed or in Europe where they're baked. As a rule, I don't like baked eyeshadows. I find they don't deposit enough colour, they're not dense enough. However, the Chanel ones I think are far, far, far better than most baked eyeshadows, and I don't think you can particularly put them in the same category. This quad is the most recent one by Chanel. It's called Mystère. I absolutely love it. I have worn it a lot, as you can see. It's just a lovely kind of sludgy greens, such pretty colours. Smashbox as well. This is the Fade to Black palette, which again, really nice, dark, dramatic sort of colours. So whereas I might use Bobbi for natural, I would go for one of these for a darker, more dramatic look. I have every conceivable Chanel quad. I've been collecting them for about 20 years. they last so well. This one is Prelude, which is their best one. I think it's the most versatile palette they do. Everybody looks great in Prelude. It's really chic. I've got so many of them. I won't show them to you all, but just sort of different colourways for different occasions. I think that of all the brands, Chanel choose their colours the best. You'll very rarely get a dud in a Chanel palette. You'll pretty much use them all. I also have loads of their singles in here. Their cream glittery shadows are brilliant. I know this seems like a huge amount of product, and it is. It absolutely is. But I have been amassing it for a really long time, and I'm very appreciative of it and very careful with it. And I do think that you should look after your makeup. I never have a dirty makeup bag. Like, I hate it when you see dirty makeup. You know, I wash my brushes regularly. I wash the inside of all these pouches regularly, and keep everything clean because apart from the fact it's a huge amount of money, they're just lovely things, and they're best protected and looked after. I don't think I have anything else. Got business cards in the back, bits and pieces in here, and that's about it. But the brilliance of the Zuka is that it all just slots back in, stacked up neatly, so nothing gets damaged. Everything is sort of taken care of, and you know exactly what everything is. And then these, I just slot these pencil cases down the side so they don't take up any room. They're not cheap Zukas. I think they're about 190 quid or something. You get them from Guru Makeup Emporium. Professional makeup shops are a really good resource. Very often you'll get things like palettes and pencil cases for far less than you would get in a normal shop from a professional makeup store. Guru is one. This is where my Zuka came from, but also Screen Face. Charles Fox is great in Covent Garden, and was kind of Theatreland makeup shop. You can really pick up things like these, and also you can get empty Zuka pouches. So I have, you know, different pouches for different ethnicities and so on. I could just swap them out as and when I need them, and then they just all go back in there, which is quite pleasing. And then I normally put my brush rolls up there. So I think that's it. That's my kit. I realise it's absolutely tons and tons, and you would never want that at home, but I know that so many people have asked me what I keep in my kit. I'm not suggesting you need even 10% or even 1% of what I have, but I know people are curious to see what I keep. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.